Everyone, this is Ethan Dre with another Photoshop tutorial. In today's tutorial, we'll be reviewing the pen tool. The pen tool is great for creating graphics or making selections using a variety of anchor points and curves. Let's go over to our toolbox and select the pen tool or keyboard shortcut P on your keyboard. Now let's take a look at the top of our application to review the different settings with the pen tool. First, we have a drop down that allows us to choose shape, path, or pixels. Shape's going to allow us to create vectorized shapes. Path is going to allow us usually to make selections, and pixels is going to allow us to create rasterized graphics. Let's go ahead and select shape. We also have our fill color, which is going to allow us to choose the color of our shape we create, and stroke, which is going to be the border or outline of the color or shape we create. Let's go ahead and leave the stroke off of this shape for right now. We have the weight of the stroke, and we also have the stroke option. We have our different options as far as creating new shapes or combining shapes, merging shape components, etc. We have our alignment and distribution options, and we also have our layer order options. With our settings, I want you to check rubber band. This is going to give us a path extension while we're drawing, more or less a preview of our shape or our path. Let's go ahead and have auto add and delete checked. That way we're automatically adding and deleting anchor points as we work, as well as align edges. As you can see, we started illustrating over top of this rough sketch of a character. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and continue this process with the pen tool. And we're just going to go ahead and illustrate this ear. When first using the pen tool, one might notice that it's very similar to using the polygonal lasso tool, in a sense that wherever you click, an anchor point is added for your shape. You can also add points all the way back to your original starting point to close out the shape or selection. The other option is to hit enter. As you can see, this shape is very blocky. We have a lot of straight edges and sharp points. This is because I have created this image only using the anchor points. A great advantage to the pen tool is the fact that we can use the Bezier Curves. I'm going to use the move tool and go ahead and move this first ear to the side. And we're going to use this pen tool to create the ear utilizing the Bezier Curves. Instead of just clicking once, we're going to go ahead and click and hold in and drag. Notice that you have two handles that are created for your anchor point. This is going to allow us to adjust the shape with curves. We're going to go ahead and add our second anchor point, and we're going to click in and hold, and I'm going to drag in the direction that I want the curve to be going. Okay, so notice if you hold in and drag, you can adjust the shape accordingly. And you can also adjust the distance that the anchor point is away from the focal point of the curve. That's just the peak that I'm talking about at the top of the ear. Okay, so let's bring those handles back in, and we're just going to go ahead and let up. And I'm going to go ahead and continue this process. So we're clicking and dragging with our left click, and I can adjust the direction of that curve with the handles of our anchor point. To close this shape out, we can always return to our first anchor point, or we can hit enter. And now you notice we have a much more appropriate ear for the imagery that we're creating. Now when moving a shape or a path that is created with the pen tool, we're going to want to go ahead and select our path selection tool or our direct selection tool. In this case, let's go ahead and select our direct selection tool just so we can kind of get an idea of where our anchor points are for this shape. The direct selection tool allows us to click on the individual anchor points and move them about the document wherever we'd like. The direct selection tool also allows us to adjust the handles of our curves or our anchor points. If we want to fine tune our shape by only adjusting one handle, you're going to go ahead and hold in Alt or Option on your keyboard, and that way you can move one part of the curve or adjust one part of the curve as opposed to adjusting both handles at the same time. We also have the option to use our path selection tool, keyboard shortcut A. This is going to allow us to click and drag our shape or path wherever we'd like in our document. To quickly touch base on the rest of the pen tool options, we have Freeform Pen Tool. This is more or less a freehand pen tool that's going to allow you to draw shapes as you go, just clicking and dragging. And that pen tool is going to actually create anchor points from your drawing. We can also add anchor points or delete anchor points to our current paths or shapes. This is going to allow us to fine-tune anything whenever we go back in and clean up our imagery. Lastly, we have the Convert Anchor Point tool. This is going to allow us to convert curved anchor points to straight edge anchor points and vice versa. Once again, if you hold in Option or Alt and click on your handles, that allows you to click on individual handles as opposed to moving both handles at the same time. Alright everybody, that is our tutorial on the pen tool in Photoshop. We reviewed our basic settings with the pen tool, and we also reviewed creating anchor points and using Bezier Curves to create imagery and shapes using the pen tool. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. This is Ethan Dre. Please check back for more, and thank you for watching.